Hey, good afternoon, guys, and welcome to our Sunday show. Today, we're going to dive into another topic that is a favorite of mine. It's in line with this pluralism theme that we are currently running with. Have you ever noticed how every religion insists it's discovered the ultimate truth, and yet miraculously, no two truths ever match? Imagine if doctors, upon giving you a diagnosis, each claimed exclusive access to an entirely different biology. One swears you have 4 kidneys. Another is adamant that you are powered by mystical vapor. And all of them, curiously, are absolutely certain, offering mutually exclusive medical advice. Would you obey a single one of them? Or would you finally question if any of them know a damn thing about the body at all? Now bear with me, because today we are going even further. If the cacophony of contradictory revelation is enough to topple the pretense of divinity, what does it say about the elaborate towers of dogma, ritual, and moral grandstanding that have been built on those rotting foundations? Today I invite you to join me as we dissect and flat out incinerate the machinery that turns conflicting myths into millennia-spanning institutions of power. Sit tight, the show's about to get heretical. Let's start by acknowledging that it is not merely the existence of thousands of religions that poses a problem. It is the insistence that each has the singular, non-negotiable, and inerrant hotline to cosmic truth. Now, if there truly were an omnipotent broadcaster in the sky, would you expect humanity to tune into a crystal clear edict? Or would you anticipate a static-ridden madhouse of quarreling frequencies? Not one holy book has managed to deliver divine clarity, but everyone has provided endless ammunition for sectarian strife. Consider Jesus of Nazareth, simultaneously the literal Son of God, the blasphemed prophet, and to many simply a decorated carpenter with a penchant for parables. Hinduism, meanwhile, sweeps by with an entirely different cosmological cast. Reincarnation, gods with elephant heads, and theological metaphysics so intricate that your average bishop would need a sedative just to get through chapter 1. None of this is surprising, unless, of course, you believe in a real God. Because if you do, you must accept that this supreme being is either 1. Profoundly incapable of communicating, 2. Addicted to ambiguity, or 3. Entirely absent. Let me put it this way. If God were Amazon, you'd still be waiting for your first delivery, and all your customer service emails would be answered by rival companies scampering to sell you their own contradictory sacred wares. But it gets better. Not only does each faith claim exclusive revelation, but it builds elaborate towers of theology upon them, rituals, codes, prohibitions, all predicated on the founding miracle that, let's face it, never happened, or happened in such a way that no two witnesses can agree on what was served at the after party. How does this work? Through the oldest trick in the book, indoctrination dressed up as tradition. Children born blank are pressured, no, trained, to accept whatever set of contradictions their parents inherited. We must trust them not with the family car, but with the absolute truth about the cosmos. The Muslim child is told the Quran is perfect. The Christian child is told the Bible is the literal word of God. And the devout Hindu is told they'll be reborn according to their karma. Unless another faith intervenes to convert them with promises of hellfire or celestial rewards, of course. This is not the spread of truth. This is the transmission of software viruses. each masquerading as the genuine operating system of reality. Every testable claim made by religion about natural reality has failed. The earth is not 6,000 years old. There was no global flood. The sun does not revolve around the earth, and the sky is not a solid dome painted blue by celestial decorators on the second day. Yet, religions persist in treating these failures not as evidence of their fallibility, but as tests of your loyalty. Science, on the other hand, says, test me, break me, falsify me, and when we do it, it improves. Religion, when falsified, simply moves the goalposts or clarifies what you were interpreting was wrong. Fantastic. If only every failed prediction in human history could be saved with the phrase, but you just don't understand the ancient context. Let's make this even more painfully obvious. Suppose today's government's operated by revelation. The president claims to have received policy direct from the Archangel Gabriel, while the prime minister's policies are carved in stone on top of a remote mountain. Legislators pass bills according to which celestial agent appear most recently in a grilled cheese sandwich. Your hospital's medical board fractures into warring cults. The engineers building your bridges squabble over whether the proper load-bearing equations are to be found in Leviticus, the Rig Veda, or received late at night by Dr. Smith's uncle in a dream involving flaming squirrels. Your bank's interest rates are set not by the market trends, but by the last astrological sign Jupiter passed, provided the revelation can be parsed in the original Koine Greek. And we would consider this not incompetent, but madness. Yet for supernatural claims, for the fate of your immortal soul, this circus is what passes for serious philosophy in the world's most powerful halls. Let's not imagine these are merely idle word games. When you privilege untestable revelation over reason, you produce entire legislatures obsessed with banning books while the planet burns. You birth literal armies trained to kill in the name of argument A or argument B, oblivious that both probably sprang from the same pagan root. You find your neighbors more willing to cling to 6 verses of Bronze Age bigotry than to facts available on a smartphone in their own pocket. And all the while, the apologists, yes, in 2025, we still have professional apologists, tell us this is a sign of deep metaphysical mystery. Right. It looks like contradiction to you, but only because you haven't watched our 11-hour YouTube series debunking basic math. Now, imagine a world in which we hold our beliefs not because they are ancient or because our ancestors worshipped this way, but because they meet the same standards we expect from health, architecture, and science. No more special pleading. No more sacred exemptions for the demonstrably false. If a new claim emerges, we investigate. If it stands up, we adopt it. If not, out it goes with the other quirky myths. Morality, then, is a conversation, a negotiation amongst self-aware mammals who'd rather not be trampled on or set ablaze. The locus of value is life, not afterlife. The goal to maximize well-being, minimize harm, and seek meaning in the glorious absurdity of being conscious atoms aware of their own expiry date. And so we return to our original dilemma. How can we be sure? You already are. In every aspect of your life except religion, you apply the standards of reason, evidence, and common sense. Only in religion are you asked to abandon the sturdy raft of logic, leap blindfolded into a churning sea of self-contradiction, and declare the salt water as sweet as milk. So I ask you, how many mutually exclusive revelations does it take before we call the whole show off? How many failed prophecies, how many contradictions, how many mysteries before we admit the emperor is not just naked, he never existed in the first place? We don't need the crutch of ancient superstition to stand tall. Reason is enough. Empathy is enough. Evidence is not just evidence. It is the only currency worth trading. Your life, your meaning, your one chance at conscious existence is happening now. Not because of a 2,000-year-old claim, but in defiance of it. So put down the sacred script, close the tome of contradictions, look up and join the rest of us, messy mortal muddling through. This is the world. This is the main event. We can be sure that religion is false, not because we want it to be, but because reality, when we are honest, never lined up with its storybooks in the first place. Have the courage to be free. Take good care of yourself, and we will see you next week. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.